Archangel Michael said, at 7:07 a.m. on June 14th, "Watch closely, you won't believe what happens." At precisely 7:07 a.m. on June 14th, time will no longer just be a number. It will become a sign. A divine appointment hath been set in the unseen realm. A holy alarm is ringing, and those who are spiritually awake will hear it echo in their soul. Archangel Michael steps forth not with a gentle whisper, but with a sword in hand and fire in his eyes. He does not knock gently. He charges with urgency and heavenly commission. His wings stretch across dimensions, his voice breaking through veils of confusion, calling out to you, yes, you, to watch closely. For the Spirit of God has marked this hour, and time is no longer what it was. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine calling, a celestial appointment written before time touched earth. There are dates, and then there are divine dates. There are hours, and then there are heaven's hour. This message does not ring in every ear. This word will not settle in every heart. It is not designed for the masses. It is reserved for the marked. It will bypass the distracted, skip over the deceived, and land directly in the lap of the chosen. For those who are tuned into the Spirit, for those whose inner atmosphere has been trembling without explanation, this is your confirmation. There has been a stirring you couldn't shake. Dreams that felt like warnings. Numbers that kept repeating. A tension rising within your chest, yet no words to express it. Your spirit has already begun leaning in. You sense something shifting, but you couldn't name it. That's because it wasn't meant to be named yet. It was meant to be watched. On June 14th at 7:07 a.m., the veil will quiver. Heaven will pause. Earth will listen. And the Spirit will whisper, now. But only those who are still will hear it. Only those who are silent will receive it. Only those who are spiritually aligned will perceive it. This divine moment demands obedience. It demands stillness. It demands awareness, not in the natural, but in the supernatural. You will not see what is coming with your eyes, but your soul will recognize it. This is a prophetic countdown, a sacred interruption. A moment of evidence ended in hell is driven. This is a signal to those whose lives have been waiting for the shift. For those who have endured battles they couldn't explain, warfare they didn't provoke, losses they didn't deserve. This is the reason. The heavens are moving. The wind is changing direction. And you are not being left behind. You are being called forward. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. This is the moment you've waited for. Heaven has closed. The angels are still. The scrolls are open. And at exactly 7:07 a.m. on June 14th, something will begin that cannot be undone. This isn't just another day. This is the one they didn't want you to see. This is the hour that was concealed in mystery, veiled in delay, wrapped in warfare. Until now, Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of this moment. His voice breaks through dimensions. His sword, forged in the fires of God's justice, gleams with revelation. He has been dispatched not for many, but for the one whose spirit has been trembling, the one whose eyes have searched the skies at midnight, the one whose soul has whispered, God, something is coming, isn't it? Yes, it is. And this is it. You are not here by accident. You didn't just scroll upon this word. You didn't just wake up with curiosity. You were summoned. You were pulled by something deeper than logic, louder than noise. You were chosen to hear this now, because what happens next cannot find you unprepared. Before the clock strikes 8, everything will begin to move. Before the hour completes its cycle, heaven's script will begin its next act. Michael speaks. You have been watched. You have been counted. You have been marked. This message was not written for the world. This message was not crafted for casual ears. This message is sealed in fire, and only the awakened ones will understand its sound. You felt this coming. You felt the walls tighten. You've noticed the shifts. You've watched people pull away. You've seen the numbers repeat. You've dreamt the same symbols. Because the Spirit has been warning you gently, and now it speaks with urgency. There's a sacred interruption taking place. There's a divine countdown ticking behind the veil. And before this message finishes, something inside you will awaken that has been locked away for years. This is not emotional hype. This is spiritual appointment. The pressure you felt in recent days was not your imagination. It was divine compression, God pressing your spirit into posture. He's been pushing your awareness out of the physical and into the prophetic. At unease in your chest. It wasn't fear, it was alignment. That stillness that kept hovering over you when others rushed around in chaos. That wasn't detachment, it was sacred separation. He has pulled you aside, out of the crowd, beyond the noise. And now, you're hearing the call that most will miss. Michael says, this message will not reach everyone. But it found you. Because you're the one he's been waiting to move. Because you're the one he's been refining in the fire. Because you're the one who didn't quit. And now, you're the one who will rise. Let that settle deep. You're not behind. You're being unveiled. You're not late. You're being divinely timed. June 14th, 7:07 a.m. Heaven scheduled this moment long before your timeline began. You'll feel it in your body. You'll sense it in the atmosphere. Something will rise in you that doesn't belong to this world. You'll speak less. Observe more. And you'll know, this is it. It's not a storm. It's a signal. It's not a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. And when others look at you with confusion, you'll smile because you were warned. Because you were chosen. This message is your divine alignment. This voice is your spiritual signal. And this hour, this very second, is your holy moment. Let every part of you come to attention. Let every distraction be silenced. Let every fear be cast down. You have entered sacred ground. You have stepped into a divine interruption. And you will not leave the same. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Something had been off, and you felt it. It started quietly. A strange emotional shift. One moment you were steady, clear, sure of yourself, and then suddenly, the ground beneath your peace began to shake. Not visibly, not physically, but deep within, like a spiritual fault line being disturbed. A quiet internal earthquake began. You've been waking up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, for no apparent reason. Dreams have turned strange, fragmented, full of symbols and shadows you couldn't decode. You've heard names in your sleep, felt watched even in your silence. And you've asked, what's happening to me? Let me tell you now, you were not imagining it. You are not paranoid. You are being awakened. This is the realm of divine disruption. Heaven is stirring your waters, not to confuse you, but to make you alert. Because something is moving around you. Something has shifted in the spirit realm, and those connected to your life have begun to respond, some with honor and others with hidden agendas. Archangel Michael reveals, you've been watched, and not just by heaven. Yes, while the angels have been circling your life, readying divine intervention, there have been others too. Spirits sent to monitor, mimic, distract, and drain. Certain people around you, people you trusted, have recently grown cold, distant, oddly silent, and your spirit noticed, even when your mind tried to excuse it. That strange conversation you replayed over and over in your head, the one that made you feel small, unsure, or subtly dismissed. That wasn't your insecurity. That was discernment sounding the alarm. Someone knows something they haven't told you. Someone has seen your rise before you've even stepped into it, and it's made them uneasy. You're not who you were, and those who can't handle your elevation will try to sabotage it before it matures. Pay attention to the tone that changed without reason, to the plans that suddenly canceled, to the silence that began after your spiritual growth intensified. There are whispers behind doors you've never walked through. There are observations being made about you in rooms you haven't entered. Not all of it is evil, but all of it is strategic, because the enemy never wastes resources on someone who poses no threat. And you become a threat to deception, to mediocrity, to spiritual darkness that's lingered in your bloodline for generations. So yes, the air around you has changed. The pressure in your chest is real. The tearful moments with no explanation, those are the echoes of your spiritual realm preparing for a confrontation. You're being pulled into awareness because something is being unmasked. You're being prompted to watch closely because someone is not who they pretend to be. You didn't miss the sign. It just wasn't clear until now. And now that you see it, you will no longer be confused. The betrayal wasn't sudden. It was slow. The shift in loyalty wasn't random. It was revealed. Heaven is exposing shadows. Heaven is uncovering intentions. And heaven is preparing you for what's about to rise. Because confusion cannot go with you. Because deception must be stripped away before elevation. You are being prepared not just to walk in truth, but to stand in fire and not burn. You are being refined, not destroyed. Shaken, not shattered. This is not the end of your peace. It is the birth of your clarity. You've been chosen to witness what others deny. You've been marked to sense what others ignore. So don't run from the season of reintroduction. Don't silence the alarm in your spirit. It's speaking for a reason. And by the time the clock strikes 7:07 a.m. on June 14th, you'll know exactly why. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving us super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more prophetic messages, spiritual insight, and divine timing revelations. You won't want to miss what's next. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding your atmosphere. The battle has never been about what you think it was. The attack wasn't about your relationships. The confusion wasn't about your career. The silence wasn't just emotional withdrawal. This has been spiritual warfare. A calculated, relentless, intentional assault on your calling. Yes, your calling. Not your personality. Not your reputation. Not your preferences. The enemy has seen what's coming before you did. He caught wind of your next level before heaven even revealed it to you. That's why things started falling apart the moment you started aligning. You thought it was just tension, but it was spiritual resistance. You thought it was just stress, but it was an invisible war. And those closest to you became the battlefield. Because the enemy rarely comes dressed in red with horns. No. The enemy often comes wrapped in familiarity. In that friend who suddenly turned cold. In that opportunity that pulled you off track. In that relationship that looked like destiny but carried decay. Michael speaks. They attack because they sensed your next level before you ever stepped into it. You are more than a target. You are a threat. You carry answers. You carry healing. You carry light that unsettles the darkness in others. And the enemy never strikes a life without weight. The betrayal you experienced. The pain that knocked the wind out of your spirit. You were in punishment, it was proof. Proof that heaven has marked you. Proof that hell is intimidated by you. Proof that your assignment is gaining traction. You were never abandoned, you were being refined. You were never punished, you were being purified. You were never overlooked, you were being hidden until the appointed time. So stop internalizing every attack. Stop blaming yourself for the distance, the drama, the spiritual disturbance. It wasn't always your flaw. Sometimes it was your favor. You are not in a storm, you are in a strategy. Heaven is allowing pressure to reveal purity. God is using conflict to expose connection. And even now, as you hear these words, your spirit is beginning to identify the places where you gave access to people who only came to assassinate your peace. Michael says, you are seen. You are chosen. And you are watched, both by heaven and by hell. Let that sober you. Let that humble you. But let it empower you. Because when you recognize the battlefield, you begin to fight differently. You stop explaining. You stop defending. You stop seeking validation from the very people sent to distract you. And you start walking like one who knows, this battle is not mine. This war is spiritual, and victory is already written. Your resistance wasn't weakness. Your silence wasn't passivity. Your stillness was strategy. Heaven had been fighting for you, and now the tide is about to turn in your favor. Watch it. Pray. Discern. But do not react in the flesh. Type I am protected in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Lesson code 1444 is activated over your life right now. A storm is forming, not above you but around you. Archangel Michael speaks now with fire in his tone. This is not a warning to stir fear. It is a strategic command to prepare. Something is set in motion. Within the next 72 hours, the pieces will start to shift. An unseen hand has drawn the line. A confrontation is coming, not just with people, but with truth. It will come wrapped in drama or chaos. It will arrive in silence, a message overheard, a moment witnessed, a detail uncovered that brings clarity in an instant. And it will demand your stillness. You must not react. Not with anger, not with panic, not with explanation. You are not being provoked. You are being positioned. This is not a natural misunderstanding. It is a supernatural sorting. And if you misstep, you will delay what heaven has already authorized. Someone is preparing to make their move, but what they don't realize is that their exposure is heaven's design. The deception, the betrayal, the hidden intentions, they are walking toward their own reveal. You will not have to lift the hand. Divine justice is already ahead of them. By the third sunrise, the curtain will fall. What's been concealed will come into full view. You'll see faces for who they are, not who they pretend to be. The distance you felt from certain people wasn't emotional, it was spiritual insulation. You were being pulled away for your own protection. Michael is not alerting you to create suspicion. He is preparing you for clarity. This moment is about control, but not theirs. Yours. Control your tone. Control your presence. Control your energy. The adversary wants chaos. Heaven demands composure. You will walk into this moment knowing you were foretold, and that knowledge alone makes you powerful. The coming days will be weighty. You will feel pressure in the atmosphere. You will sense the friction before you see the cause. But do not be moved by what you feel. Heaven has already orchestrated your recovery. You will not be touched. This confrontation, whether through person, circumstance, or opportunity, is not here to take something from you. It is here to unlock what hath been waiting behind obedience. When it appears, do not blink. Do not beg. Do not break. Stand still. Watch God move. Type "I am ready" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 0707 has entered your timeline. Michael stands between you and the assignment against your life. His presence is not symbolic. It is absolute. You are surrounded. Heaven does not need your explanation. It needs your silence. Let them assume. Let them talk. Let them wonder in their own confusion. This moment was never about proving your innocence. It's about preserving your integrity. Michael says, guard your voice. It holds power. Do not waste it on those who were never meant to carry your truth. You are entering the part of the war where your silence is a sword. Your restraint is warfare. This is not weakness. This is divine command. You are not to plead your case. You are to walk in your authority. Those who left did not leave by accident. Those who turned on you were exposed, not removed. Heaven has shielded you from what would have broken you later. Your absence from certain conversations is your protection. You were never meant to fight this battle the world's way. Your strength now is in discipline. Don't explain. Don't chase. Don't correct their version of the story. Heaven is building a case on your behalf, and it is undeniable. You are being defended, not just spiritually, but legally in the courts of heaven. Your name hath been spoken among angels. Michael has recorded every word spoken against you, and none of it will go unanswered. Divine retribution is not delayed. It is being timed for maximum impact. In the silence, you will hear heaven louder. You will feel a shift in your sleep, in your spirit, even in your physical surroundings. Peace will begin to fall like a cloak, not because the battle is over, but because God has taken it from your hands. You don't need to ask again. You don't need to wonder anymore. You don't need to fear what's coming. It is handled. The justice of God is in motion. The armies of heaven are encamped around you. Let this moment transform how you respond to adversity. No longer with anxiety, but with authority. No longer trying to control outcomes, but trusting the commander of heaven's host. Let every breath you take from this moment forward be confirmation. You are protected. You are preserved. You are being vindicated in real time. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this. Blessing code 3131 is now shielding your destiny. You are no longer who you were, and you can feel it in your bones. This isn't imagination. This isn't wishful thinking. Something inside you has shifted, and it cannot be reversed. The fire you went through didn't destroy you. It refined you. You were not buried. You were planted. And now, you're rising. Not as a victim limping from the battlefield, but as a weapon forged in sacred fire. You didn't survive by chance. You were preserved by design. The old version of you, the one who doubted, apologized too much, second-guessed everything, tried to keep the peace at the expense of your own soul, that version has died. That version was allowed to break so that what was hidden could emerge. Now, what they tried to shame, heaven is about to showcase. What they mocked, God is about to magnify. You are not stepping out of the fire in pieces. You are stepping out in power. Michael speaks clearly now. You were burned, not to weaken you, but to awaken you. You were pressed, not to crush you, but to unlock what was sealed inside you. This was transformation disguised as tribulation. Every tear was a seed. Every night you held your breath just to make it through. Those moments rewired you. The pain that felt endless built a different kind of discernment in you. That heartbreak that you thought would kill you was really heaven's scalpel, cutting away what no longer belonged. You didn't just survive disappointment. You outgrew it. You evolved through it. You no longer look like your last season, and the people who once knew how to handle you are unsettled. They can't find the version of you they once manipulated. They can't predict your moves anymore. That's not pride. That's divine transformation. They are looking for ashes. They are trying to connect with who you were. But that person is gone. You've been elevated in a realm they don't have access to. And it's not personal. It's prophetic. Michael says, do not chase after what you've outgrown. Do not return to those who were only assigned to your wilderness. Your assignment has shifted. Your spirit has expanded. You're no longer fit for small rooms and silent suffering. You have been lifted. And that lifting came at a cost most will never understand. So yes, your wings feel heavier. That's because they were realigned for altitude. You were not designed to crawl through cycles. You were created to soar past patterns. God didn't keep you alive just to rebuild what was broken. He preserved you to become something entirely different. Not a better version, but a whole new creation. You were never meant to be hidden forever. That silence you endured, it was sacred. That season of isolation, it was divine. It wasn't loneliness, it was reintroduction. Heaven had to disconnect you from everything familiar so it could prepare you for what was foundational. You've become the answer to problems you used to pray away. You are now walking in the power you once only dreamed about. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment. You are rising, and not in secret. Your steps are being orchestrated by unseen hands. You are being watched, not by enemies, but by witnesses to your resurrection. They will see what God does with someone who refused to quit. They will witness what it looks like when heaven finishes what hell tried to kill. You are the evidence that pain produces purpose. Let no one tell you otherwise. Let no voice convince you to go back to pretending you are smaller than you are. This world doesn't need another echo. It needs your sound. And you are not here to blend in. You were born to shift atmospheres. Your very presence is warfare. Your existence disrupts demonic patterns. Walk like you know that now. Type I am rising in the comments if this shift is real for you. Blessing code 8181 is now activated in your life. Everything you endured wasn't random. It was rehearsed by heaven. There's a prophecy written over your life, and this entire journey with the unlocking. The nights of confusion, the sudden betrayals, the long periods of silence, they weren't evidence of abandonment. They were part of divine choreography. This wasn't punishment. This was preparation. And now, the unveiling has begun. Michael declares, the conflict was never meant to destroy you. It was the door. The pressure with the push. The pain with the prophecy in disguise. What you thought was a detour was a divine encounter. You were never off course. You were being routed into destiny by divine hands. This entire time, heaven was setting a stage, and you, the one who cried silently, questioned deeply, and kept walking faithfully, you are now standing at the edge of what the enemy swore you'd never see. You've stepped into the hour of release. This is not a vague blessing. This is not emotional comfort. This is the activation of your spiritual promotion, a changing of garments, a transition of authority. The name you carry in heaven has been called aloud in the realm of the Spirit. The angels know it. The adversaries recognize it. Your new assignment has been released, and nothing will block what's already been spoken over you. Heaven has issued a command. Release what belongs to them. That command is echoing through every realm now. Resources are being redirected. Relationships are being aligned. Opportunities are being recalibrated, all because your posture unlocked something that force could not. You didn't fight for it. You endured for it. And that endurance has broken open the next chapter. What you thought was a delay was a divine filtration system. Heaven was not ignoring you. It was inspecting everything connected to your future. It was testing what could go with you, what needed to fall off, and who would stand next to you without contamination. You were tested not because God doubted you, but because He was revealing you. Michael stands now with scroll in hand, and he says clearly, your name is written in the book of Rise. Yes, you. The one who thought it was over. The one who asked if they missed the moment. You did not miss it. You became it. You are the prophecy fulfilled. Your pain was the price. Your obedience was the key. Your stillness was the weapon. This next season will not look like the last. You are entering territory that has been cleared by angelic force. The words you speak now carry weight. The decisions you make now carry lineage. The connections you form now are destiny-based, not emotional. You are operating at a higher dimension, and because of that, your results will not match your past. This shift will be obvious. Heaven will not hide it. You will feel it in your energy, your thoughts, your body. You will no longer tolerate what drains you. You will no longer explain what only the Spirit confirms. People will say you've changed. They're right. You had to in order to carry what's coming. Don't downplay it. Don't delay it. This is the release that had to wait until now. Not because you weren't ready, but because the earth wasn't. You were ahead of your time, but now your time has caught up with you. And you're stepping into it as the prophecy fulfilled. If this message resonates with you and you feel led to support, consider giving a super thanks with a gift of $10. Every offering fuels more life-shifting messages like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Subscribe now to unlock exclusive prophetic content, timely insight, and guidance that will meet you right where you are. Type I am the prophecy in the comments if you know this word is for you. Blessing code 9999 has just entered your atmosphere. Now that the veil has lifted and the fire has refined, heaven issues a call, not to the masses, but to you. A direct, undeniable, spiritual summons that demands a response. This is not a word to ponder casually. This is a moment of activation. Destiny is not waiting for your permission. It's waiting for your participation. You have crossed the line between preparation and purpose. You are no longer rehearsing. You are stepping into your role. Heaven has already moved. The angels have already been deployed. What remains now is your voice, your agreement. Not with people, not with circumstances, but with the divine decree that has hovered over your life since before your first breath. Say yes, not to them but to heaven. Say yes with your posture. Say yes with your silence. Say yes with your faith that no longer looks for proof, but moves based on promise. Because now, you're not being asked to wait. You're being told to move. The prophetic has collided with the present, and you've been cleared for release. Michael declares, you are now being summoned into action. Your yes in the spirit must echo in your behavior. It's not enough to know you're chosen. You must walk like you are. Speak like you are. Build like you are. This is not a season for hesitation. Every step you take from this moment forward will multiply. There is prophetic momentum hiding in the air. It is weighty. It is ready. And it is waiting for you to match it. Don't expect comfort. Expect acceleration. When you say yes, doors will open, but so will resistance. That's not a sign to stop. It's confirmation you hit the right frequency. The enemy will try to whisper confusion, doubt, and delay, not because you're lost, but because you're finally aligned. His only weapon now is distraction. Your only requirement is discipline. Everything you need for what's ahead is already in you. The skills, the discernment, the spiritual stamina. It didn't come from books or mentors, they came from the breathing, from the silence, from the moments you had no one but God. That history has become your authority. That obedience has become your oil. You are no longer waiting for external validation. Heaven has already confirmed you. You don't need agreement to walk in what's already been written. So rise, not with arrogance, but with assignment. You are not a filler in someone else's story. You are not a side note in someone else's destiny. You are the solution heaven planted in the earth for this exact moment. Everything you've endured, every chapter of your pain, with the soil where your voice was formed. And now, that voice is being called into the field. Michael's instruction is clear. Heaven is ready to partner with your movement. You take one step, the Spirit takes 10. You say one word, angels begin to respond. This is how acceleration works in the divine. Obedience unlocks outcomes that work outside of time. What should have taken years will happen in days. But only for those who move. No more hiding. No more thinking. No more waiting for a green light when heaven has already said go. You are not in the same cycle. This is not the same test. This is the moment you've been prepared for. Say yes with your life. Declare it in the Spirit. Declare it in your work. Declare it in your posture. I accept my assignment. Speak it until the atmosphere around you begins to shift. Speak it until your soul believes it. Speak it until hell hears you and backs away. This is not just confession. This is collision. Heaven is moving when you move. Type I accept my assignment in the comments if this word activates you. Blessing code 5555 is being released into your next step. While you were crying, heaven was negotiating. While you were weeping, angels were at war. While you were quiet, wrestling, questioning, doubting, a sacred exchange was taking place behind the scenes. Archangel Michael pulls back the curtain now. What you thought was stillness was spiritual strategy. What felt like silence was movement at the throne. Every tear you released was collected. Every unanswered prayer was recorded. Every broken place became currency in the invisible courts. You did not suffer without witness. You did not endure without transaction. There was a holy exchange occurring while you kept walking with nothing in your hands. Your pain was traded for power. Your loneliness was exchanged for legacy. Your broken dreams became blueprints for a greater assignment. What was taken from you, peace, time, identity, even relationships, is now being returned, but not in its original form. Heaven doesn't restore. Heaven rebuilds. It never gives back what you lost. It gives back more. Michael announces, heaven is repaying you with upgrades. Not replacements. Upgrades. The relationships being prepared for you now will not repeat the cycles you broke free from. The resources coming toward you will not carry the same weight of limitation. The position you are being placed into will not come with the same level of begging or striving. This is the result of your quiet obedience. The silent war you fought has earned a public reward. God is reestablishing your name in places you never knew your name was spoken. He is assigning angels to open doors you didn't knock on. You are being placed before people who didn't know you existed, but who were already assigned to favor you. This is spiritual reintroduction. The you that emerges now isn't the you that went into the fire. And it's not just about what you get back. It's about how you see yourself. The greatest restoration is identity. The lie that said you weren't good enough is dead. The story that told you you'd always be overlooked, burned in the altar fire. You are no longer searching for value. You are walking in it. You don't need to convince others of your worth. Heaven already proved it by moving on your behalf without an audience. The truth is, you've always been known. Your name was etched in eternity before anyone on earth even learned to pronounce it. God has never needed to be convinced about your purpose. The angels never questioned your anointing. The only battle was convincing you to stop shrinking. And now that you've seen who you are, you can never go back. Michael speaks this final line with clarity and fire. The silence you kept became your signature in heaven. That restraint, that refusal to retaliate, that surrender you offered when you had every reason to rebel, it became the sound that shook the throne. You did not lose. You graduated. And what's coming is not a return to who you were. It is the unveiling of who you've always been. You may not see it yet, but the atmosphere knows. The shift has already happened. People may treat you the same, but the realm of the spirit sees your wings. You carry authority now. You don't have to announce it. You just walk in it. The silence was never empty. It was sacred. The loss was never punishment. It was prophecy. And the war went for what you had, it was for who you were. Type I receive the exchange in the comments if this confirms your journey. Blessing Code 2020 is now releasing recompense from heaven. This is the part they never expected. This is the chapter no one saw coming. The people who doubted you, the ones who counted you out, the voices that tried to bury you with their words, they never knew they were writing the script for their own exposure. What they spoke in secret will now echo against them in public. The lies they crafted, the manipulation they sowed, the curses they whispered, they have all boomeranged in the spirit. And now, the justice of God is not delayed, it is deliberate. Archangel Michael declares, their words became ropes, and now they bind themselves. What was spoken against you in darkness will be dragged into the light. Not by your doing, not by your retaliation, but by divine reversal. This is not a petty comeback. This is kingdom recompense. The vindication that is unfolding is not just about proving you right. It is about proving that God never left your side. You didn't defend yourself, and now heaven is defending you. You didn't run to clear your name, so now your name is being cleansed by fire from the throne. Everything they tried to bury will bloom in front of them. You were never the problem. You were the threat. And they knew it. That's why they tried so hard to diminish your light before it had a chance to shine. But now the reversal has begun. The script is flipping. The rejected one is becoming the refuge. The mocked one is becoming the movement. Your tears are turning into testimony. Your silence is becoming a trumpet. And those who thought they could control the narrative are watching it unravel by divine hand. The shame you endured in secret, it's being reversed. A misunderstanding that smeared your name, it's being reversed. The seasons where you were overlooked, undervalued, and misread, all of it reversed. God is not restoring you to where you were. He is elevating you above where you were. This is justice with interest, the kind only heaven can execute. Michael says, you will not return to where you were. You will be raised above it. And those who watched you fall will watch you be lifted, not quietly, but undeniably. You don't need a stage. God is the one setting the spotlight. This isn't about applause. It's about authority. The vindication coming isn't a response to them. It's a fulfillment of what was always yours. The rejection was real, but it was required. If they had embraced you, you might have stayed small. If they had honored you, you might have compromised. Your betrayal forced your expansion. Your silence pushed you into God's voice. Their dismissal was the reason you discovered your deeper identity. What they meant for harm became your holy path. And now, the reversal will not just restore your name, it will mark your generation. This is the hour of recompense. And heaven does not repay in fragments. It pays in overflow. You are about to receive more than what was taken. Not out of pity, but out of principle. The kingdom has laws. And one of them is this: those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. You have sown. You have waited. You had endured. And now you will reap. You don't have to say a word. Your life will speak louder than your defense. Your presence will say what your pain couldn't. And those who tried to erase your influence will now witness your emergence. Not because you demanded it, but because God decreed it. If this word has been confirmation, if you feel heaven's justice circling you now, consider supporting this channel with a super thanks of $5. Your generosity helps us continue sharing these timely, heaven-breathed messages. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe for more spiritual revelations, divine timing alerts, and messages from the throne. Heaven is speaking, and you don't want to miss what's next. Type God is my vindicator in the comments if you believe this reversal is already in motion. Blessing code 3333 is now activated around your name. Remember this moment. Etch it into your spirit. Hold it close. Because June 14th, at exactly 7:07 a.m., is not just a marker on the calendar, it is the moment heaven calls your name out loud. This is not symbolic. It is divine appointment. An exact hour, an exact signal, an exact frequency and time when heaven releases what help it no longer block. Michael stands at the gate, sword drawn, wings open. The air is still, but charged. The kingdom watches as your name is spoken through realms. You are not the same. You are not where you used to be. You are not who they thought you were. Heaven sees you differently. And now it's time you do too. You are chosen. You are called. You are covered. You are sealed. The fire, that tried to consume you has only branded you with heavenly identity. You are marked, not by what you lost, but by what survived. Not by your trauma, but by your transformation. You carry evidence now. You carry heaven's signature. You carry the residue of angels that fought while you stayed silent. Michael speaks this final charge over you. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Rise. You will never be overlooked again. You will never be bound by yesterday. The yoke has been shattered. The ceiling has been broken. What was hidden in you is now commissioned. This isn't a suggestion. It's a divine command. Go forward. Take territory. Speak with authority. Pray like one who knows heaven listens. Walk like one who cannot be denied. From this day forward, things will accelerate. What used to take months will take moments. What once required force will flow. You are not behind schedule. You are aligned with divine time. Everything that left made room for what's about to arrive. Everything that died made way for resurrection. Everything that hurt became the anointing oil that now drips from your words, your presence, your very existence. So we seal this moment in prayer. May the fire of God encircle you. May the angels of the Lord guard your steps. May your name echo in rooms you haven't entered yet, with favor chasing you like a shadow. May divine protection, provision, and positioning overwhelm your atmosphere. Heaven has seen. Heaven has spoken. Heaven is moving. You waited. You wept. You've worshipped even when it hurt. Now, watch what happens. Type "I receive this final blessing" in the comments if this entire word has been yours from the beginning. Blessing code 1414 hath been sealed over your household.